Hey everyone, Yōkai back with another episode of the second season of Hibike Euphonium. In fact, it's the last episode of this show, and at this point it's just going to be specials and like a movie or two after this, so yeah, getting pretty close to the end of the show just in general. But yeah, last episode we had the competition, and sadly we were not able to get the gold. A lot of people were pretty bummed out, but at least most of them have another year or two, or well, at least one more year to do it. But for the third years, they just kind of have to leave their hopes in the hands of the second years and first years, which I think they're in pretty good hands, honestly. So with this final episode here, let's jump on in and see how things go. So 3, 2, 1, but oh yeah, that happened too. Also, yeah, I think I hit a button there. There we go. I had a feeling I had the wrong button. That was the button I pushed. That was not a good button to push. But that was a nice bit there. The One-chan Daisuke. I always enjoy a good One-chan Daisuke. And that was a pretty good one. I rated it 8.5 out of 10. I am curious what we'll do for this final episode. I honestly went through the series a lot slower than I planned to, just because, nothing against the show, it's just at the point of my life I'm in, not a lot of time to watch anime. Makes sense. Yoshikawa Yuko. Yeah, I think it'll be great. Please do. Okay, no complaints here either. What, nobody tell Yuko? How rude. Fight, fight, fight. Yeah, it sounds about right. I'm sure this will be a fun duo. Wow, that was something. Please do that again. Title? Startup Springs Epilogue. A little bit. Interesting camera angle there. Oh, it's a thingy. Yeah, saxophone. I see. What's that supposed to mean? That didn't clarify anything. Yeah, that's him. I don't follow. Did she? I'm trying to remember. So that's what we're referring to. Okay. I'll be going now. That would be great. I do agree. I know that voice. Oh, yeah. What? Yes, she does. That's good to hear. I want to play... A month is like forever. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Oh, letter. Oh, my Mamiko, okay. I'm sorry I didn't remember your name, I just always think of you as One-chan. Because I read the name on the letter, I still didn't know who it was from, and this is my bad. I'm not crying, you're crying. Very disappointed. I mean, I would take that as praise. It's cute. Oh, wow, that is pretty. I mean, I watered everything. Just pretty warm there. Omedetou gozaimasu. Yeah, graduation, that's what I thought. You really went all out with the decorations. Yuko, I'm gonna miss you too. Uh, Magic? Okay. Why not? Nice. I can dig it. Man, remember how much they used to suck back in episode 1? Yeah, that was great. That is not how you spell definitely. She's doing her best, okay? You know, I don't think I appreciated how cute Yuka was when I watched this show. I think she needed more screen time. I think that was part of the issue. Really kind of looks like a panel of judges from that angle. Uh-huh. Solo. At first, it looked like two people were touching their hands together, but I realized it was just her. Oh, yeah. Flashback to some pretty iconic moments. Man, her hand's been on that cheek like for so long. Oh yeah, those super cute uniforms. I remember those. Yeah, that was a great episode. We should have gotten more use out of those uniforms. It is nice that we are getting these flashbacks in the final episode. Makes sense. And I always appreciate that sort of thing. Yeah, because I also think I think that episode was also the one where other schools started to realize that that school's music group is actually, has improved. Like it's becoming almost worth noting. Go to nationals. Yeah, we also had an episode where we decided that that's what we were doing, and we did. We didn't get the gold, but we did succeed in going to nationals. Definitely some people getting emotional. And then we clean up. Looking for someone? I hope not. Maybe we can find her then. Empty. Oh, it is snowing. Wow. I got candy. Anyone want candy? I make no promises, man, but I'll do my best. You better. Yeah, she's clearly looking for someone. Yeah, I assume it was Alaska. Yeah, don't interrupt our hug. Also, don't run down the stairs, please. Man, in a skirt, that's gotta be pretty cold. A rainbow. I kind of want to rewatch the first episode. We found you! Man, I'm starting to feel kind of cold just watching this snow. Yeah, that's not surprising. You can't stop me. Probably not. Oh, or okay. Threw her for a loop. Being pretty honest here. Damn. I hope there's a bit more to it than that. Nothing gets past her. Okay, now we got to the important part. Yes. Notebook. I'll never wash my hair again. Asuka. Not gonna say goodbye. Hibike Euphonium. Oh wow, title drop. That felt good in my soul. Yep. Wow. I don't have words for how good that felt. I've always had a thing, for title drops. I've always enjoyed them. And man, it's been a while since I've seen one that good, that well timed, that well everything. Hibike Euphonium. Just gonna bask in the afterglow for that for a minute here. Don't mind me. I wonder if there's any kind of stinger. Either way, I'll just watch the credits roll. Kyoto Animation. They are indeed the ones that made this. Like, they've made a lot of great stuff. Nope, that is the end. Okay. Yeah, that was the 13th and final episode of the second season of Hibike Euphonium. And I thought it was a really good final episode. Like, I couldn't possibly find any faults with it. I mean, there's a lot of goodbye-ness to it because that's the graduation, third years of moving on to college or the workforce or whatever. And everyone else stays behind to just kind of help the next generation, the next batch of first years, fill in the gaps left behind, and try again next year to get that gold at nationals, right? So that was definitely like the theme of the episode, just showing how far we've come, and like also we're replacing roles. Like I think Yuko became the new president, and Natsuki became the vice president, I think it was, like, and definitely an amusing concept for sure, because those two often butt heads, which is always entertaining. So getting to see that was good. It's just that revelation there that those two have those roles already made me want like a sequel, to like a third season, to just see how that goes, because that just sounds incredibly amusing. But we also had some letters with One-chan, which is great that we had a little bit of One-chan stuff in the episode, because again, this is the last episodes, and that definitely was a subplot that I enjoyed with the show. One-chan and her doing her thing and dealing with the parents and all that stuff. I felt pretty invested in that, honestly. So it was good to see some of it here. And we had a graduation party, which was great. We had like food, I think, and decorations and music playing and tears. Pretty much anything you could hope for in that kind of party, right? So I certainly enjoyed it. And the flashbacks to other things like the marching band stuff and just general practice and some drama segments. Because I do remember that part where Yuko was getting very animated, agitated, upset, vocalizing her opinions. Her what's the word I'm looking for? Complaints, right? Like that one scene. I definitely remember that scene. So we also get to see that there. But all the goodbyes, all the tears, it's pretty sad stuff, but also, got like a nice hug from Yuko and Kaori, which I certainly enjoyed. And we also had Kumiko searching for Asuka, and we didn't really know what exactly her purpose was, but it was made pretty clear that it was important to do, and she eventually did track her down. I did like the little moment when she was about to go up the stairs, and then she kind of like, it was overlaid with her, first day coming to school, seeing Asuka and them, right? I really liked that. But eventually I did see Asuka, who looked great in her winter clothing. Like, it suited her amazingly well, and she just looked fantastic in it. But it was funny how this conversation began, because Kumiko basically just said, I got something I want to talk to you about. Clearly something important. And what is the person that Asuka says? Asking if it's like romantic advice. And she actually said yes to that, which definitely surprised her a little bit, which was great. Because it was kind of about love, because she says she loved her in the next scene, right? So I guess it was sort of right. But the way it started though was great, because she just like completely went off on her, like no holding back, how much she just did not like her when she first met her. Like, that was great, because she went on so long on that train of thought that I was starting to doubt whether or not there was going to be like a part 2 to this conversation. But eventually there was, and she said that she loves her, she wants to play like her, all that good stuff, and it just became a really nice moments. With the tears flowing, the snow falling. She gives her the important notebook and all that, and it says Hibike Euphonium on it, and it just is kind of the perfect scene. I loved it. I loved it so much. And that pretty much was the episode. I couldn't have asked for anything better as far as the final episode goes. It pretty much checks almost every box that I have of what I usually would expect and hope for in a final episode, right? I mean, I guess a kiss between Kumiko and Reina would have made it better, but I'm talking like realistic expectations, right? So, in that regard, yeah, it was pretty much perfect. And that's all I got to say on the episode. So, since this is the final episode, I probably should kind of try my best to voice my overall thoughts on the show as best I can. So, the show, going into it, all I really knew about it was that it was by Kyoto Animation, who've made a lot of great shows, a lot of shows that I've loved, and it was about music, right? But I knew it wasn't going to be like KO, and even though that's also a KyoAni show about music, well, about music. I was not expecting it to be the same at all. And it definitely wasn't, right? K-On! Was basically 4 girls at a club, eventually 5, spoiler, and they speak, deepening their friendship while kind of improving their music, and just having a great time, right? This had a lot more focus on the music itself, and just becoming better and better as a overall unit, right? And everyone kind of had their own stuff going on, right? Definitely the show did not hold back as far as having characters having their own motivation, backstory, and occasional conflicts with other members of the group, right? And just in general, they were really bad at, being a band, a music group at the beginning. But we fixed that. We got Taki Sensei in there. We got some actual practice, getting goals, going to nationals, getting that established, and just getting the overall direction of the group established, and they got better as a result. And it was nice just going on that journey, watching them go from being so bad to starting to get a little bit better, get some recognition from people that they are getting better, and eventually, making it all the way to nationals, which is what their goal was. I mean, their final goal was getting the gold, which they technically did not do, but still, I think we can be pretty happy with what we did achieve in this show, right? And even the music style is obviously different than K-On!. There's no guitars, in this, because it's a wind ensemble, right? It's a little bit different than the kind of band that the K-On! Girls are in. But as far as the characters go, there definitely was a lot of good characters in the show. We have our main girl Kumiko, who I enjoyed a lot. She, I don't know, she just was she was a fun character. I enjoyed her. She had her silly moments. She had her serious moments. There was depth to her character. She had her own things going on, the sister stuff, the music thing kind of being tied to her sister a little bit, because her sister also did music before, and then her sister quit the music, for her own personal reasons, right? So we have all that. And she has a whole thing with Reina, who I made no secret. I enjoyed all of their interactions, and we definitely got quite a few pretty good ones in the show. One episode in particular comes to mind. You can probably guess the one, but yeah. So her stuff with her was great. Her interactions with Asuka was great as well. So just a lot of her stuff I was pretty entertained by. Pretty much anything she was doing for the most part. And the girl that was born to play the euphonium, because she even at a certain point wanted to play a different instrument. I think she was kind of a little bit pushed into the euphonium thing. I don't remember exactly why. I'm trying to, because it was early season 1. I think they just needed a euphonium person, another euphonium person, and somebody leaked that she could do that, so she just kind of was put into the role on that basis. But by the end of the series, she definitely seems to be pretty happy with playing the euphonium, talking about playing like Asuka and all that. So she obviously was able to work through all those feelings and find real purpose and meaning in what she does, which that was kind of a theme as well, her trying to figure that stuff out, what she wants to do, find happiness in that in the future and all that. So she went through a lot of that characterization, character development wise throughout the show. We had that one great scene of her running on the bridge or whatever. I definitely remember that scene. For sure going to be one that sticks in my mind for a long time. But she was the main character, so she pretty much got the most screen time, which makes sense. I also had Reina, Reina, my favorite thing about Reina was probably just her character design. It was perfectly made to be within my preferences, if that makes sense. So right out the gate, I liked her on that basis, and she was also kind of initially came off as a cool, quiet, collected, kudeta kind of character, right? Again, falling within line of my preferences, character archetype preferences, right? And then we have the Yuri-ish thing between her and Kumiko going on, so this also kind of elevated how much I liked her. So that was pretty much what kind of skyrocketed her into the front of my interest as far as characters go. Definitely. But then there was the whole Taki Sensei crush, which kind of lowered it a little bit, but I guess you gotta balance out things somehow, right? But of course I never really went anywhere, but that's kind of to be expected. But they were pretty front as well. But Asuka was also a pretty important character to the series, and she was definitely a very layered character, because she's got the whole mask thing going on. She's she tries to act as bright, cheerful, silly, playful, even though if you peel that back a little bit, you see there's a little bit more going on, a little bit more depressed. I don't know the best word for it is, but she obviously has a lot going on. You know, the mother, which we got to meet her, so she, there's a limit to how happy you can be when you're kind of dealing with a parent like that. But yeah, Asuko's always a fun character to watch for sure, and it was cool getting to kind of have Kumiko kind of peeling back those layers a little bit, seeing a bit more of who she is, and going from not liking her to loving her throughout the course of the series. So yeah, really good stuff on that regard. As far I don't think anyone else really had comparable screen time to the characters I mentioned. I think everyone else was pretty noticeably less. Unless I'm forgetting someone. I mean, Taki Sensei was the teacher, the advisor, right? So naturally he had a decent amount of screen time, but he was also an interesting character in itself because he didn't hold back. He really told it like it was, which was pretty cool. And yeah, as a result, there was kind of like a fluctuation of feelings from some of the band members towards him as a result of that. Also, at a certain point, rumors were flying around. But by the end of the show, I think they all appreciated having him as our advisor because he did have not an insignificant role in having them get as far as they did. So, definitely a valued member of the group on that basis. But yeah, there was also other fun characters like Natsuki, Yuko were both great, pretty memorable characters for sure. And also, I don't remember her name. Mizore, she didn't get a whole lot of screen time, but I did like her. I don't think there's any character I disliked. I'm looking through the list now. I mean, those characters I didn't really care about, really, like Tsukamoto. Like, I don't know, he didn't really stand out in any way, really. He just felt like a generic Kiwani side character, male character. I don't know. Not to insult him or anything, but just nothing about him really stood out to me, if that makes sense. But, and yeah, of course, Kumiko had her two friends, Sapphire and Hazuki, right? Who actually didn't get as much screen time / plot focus as I thought they would, compared to some of the other characters, considering they are, friends of Kumiko, right? But, I guess there's not enough time to give everyone focus on the show. But, so yeah, I feel like I spent a lot of time talking about the characters, but that certainly was a big part of the show. You pretty much had music being improved, like their ability to play it being improved throughout the course of the show, and characters getting to see their backstory, getting them to develop as characters. That was pretty much the show for the most part. Unveiling character motivations and seeing them do their best and cooperate and build friendship and all that good stuff. Make important life decisions. So, yeah, I don't think there's too much more to say about it, but aside from the usual stuff you would say about most Kyoto animation shows, beautiful animation, art, scenery, background art, scenery, stuff like that, memorable, likable characters, just a very, very solid show, definitely, that I am definitely glad that I was able to eventually check out, because this was one of those shows I knew the existence of many years before I actually watched it, so it's cool to finally be able to check that box off as far as my life goals. But like I said, there is a little bit left. I think there's some specials in a movie or two or something, which I will do as well. But I just felt it was best to do my overall talking here as opposed to at that point. I don't know, it felt like it made the most sense to me. But so yeah, that's all I really got to say on it. But thank you for watching the video. If you liked it, subscribe, like button, Patreon, that kind of stuff. And I do have other shows that I've reacted to on the channel, and you can check that out too if you want to. But for now, bye bye.